Also, the person that booked the car was never there. So that person just has some fake account that they've been able to get approved.
Bullet.
All right, folks, if you follow me on Twitter, you saw some of the tweets I sent out about this current Turo rental of my 2016 Porsche Macan S. So the current rental was a 10-day rental. I was gonna make like $778. They gave me a nice tip, but weird things started to happen as soon as I got to the airport. I go to the airport and a girl was supposed to be renting the car. She said, my brother's gonna be waiting out front to get the keys. I said, no problem. I pull up to the curb, find the brother, show him little things around the car, and I said, hey, you're not authorized to drive the car. Only your sister is, who booked the car, and there's no additional drivers. Plus, in Turo's rule book, they say the primary driver must be there for drop-off and pickup. Now, keep in mind, this is only my 5th rental on Turo. Every other rental has been perfect. The renters have been great, respectful of the car, they love the car, all that stuff. And then number 5 happened. So I tell the kid, like, you know, you're at the airport, you're at the terminal area. I like to, for my renters, bring it right to the terminal. That way they can get in the car and go, and it's very convenient. This renter, I said, look, you're not allowed to drive the car, but here's a couple things to show your sister. I need your sister to send me a picture of her ID. So she sends over the picture of the ID. Everything's legit, matches up. And I just said, hey, I'm gonna get out of your hair and step away. But again, like, you know, you're not able to drive the car. It's your sister who's able to drive the car. That's it. Okay. So I walk away, 100 yards away, I turn around, he drives the car. And his license was vertical, which I'm pretty sure in certain states means you're under 21. I don't know if that's the case for every state, but certain states it is. And if you've ever sold into anything online on Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp or any of that stuff, you will know that there's scams out there where they'll say, hey, I'm gonna come to buy this, my brother's gonna come pick it up. That scam is out there. The second my mind connected this, I was like, oh my God, my car has been stolen, been driven away. Now, obviously, it was not stolen. Also, before we get too far into this video, INTOTHEAM.com. It's their Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. So whatever sales they have going on, 40, 50, 1,000% off, you get additional 10% off using code Gjeebs. INTOTHEAM, thank you for sponsoring this video. This is one of their basic tees. Look at this look. I got the black shorts on, and I got the black INTOTHEAM logo matching the shorts with a little chalk exterior. It's tight. Andrew, cameraman, he's dialed in. Look at that. We're full on INTOTHEAM. So it's their Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. Go to INTOTHEAM.com and buy t-shirts, because you're gonna buy t-shirts anyways. You might as well buy nice ones. Thank you. So at this point, as you can imagine, my head's spinning and I'm just connecting all of these crazy things. So I look at the tip that they gave me. Now, they gave me a $100 tip, which, again, that's a lot. Like, I was thinking maybe a $20 tip. So this also set me off. They're giving like too much money. And the $100 bill had a hole right in between Benjamin Franklin's head. This is the actual one. Now, I checked it to make sure it was an actual bill, and I saw that, and I was like, bullseye, like we got you, like we just stole your car. That is where my head was going. So I immediately called the number within the Turo app, and no answer. Luckily, she called back, but the weird part was it didn't sound like she was anywhere near the airport. She called back, and I told her the person who drove off with the car is not authorized to drive the car. I said, where are you? She said, I got lost. I'm on the other side of the terminal. Which, again, sketchy. How could you get lost? One person goes out this door and you get lost all of a sudden? Very sketchy.
Here for Ben?
Once I got home, I filed a report with Turo. I basically said, I don't think the car is stolen, but everything felt extremely weird, and I never saw the authorized renter with my own eyes. Now here's where the story starts to turn a little bit. I get a call from Turo the next day, and they suspended my account because they said I didn't follow their rules and procedures in terms of handing the car over to the person. Now again, in my defense, it was like, I trusted someone a little bit. I said, hey, your sister's coming out, great, here's the car, I'll get out of your way. So after a little bit of back and forth with Turo and explaining my situation, your boy was back. Now 2 days go by and I haven't really heard anything, and I'm starting to calm down. Except my Ring doorbell went off and my wife says, the police are here. My heart fell out of me and went down to the center of the earth. This is how that interaction went. Are you Benjamin?
Yes.
Do you own a Porsche Macan?
Yes.
Where is it?
It's out on a Turo rental?
Yeah.
He goes, who'd you rent it to? I go, well, I rented it to one person, but they never showed up, and someone else took the keys. She goes, so you gave your keys to someone who's not renting your car? I said, well, technically yes, but I told them not to drive the car, and they drove the car. She goes, why would you do that? I said, look, lady, I'm not trying to get a confrontation at my front door. I told them not to drive the car. I gave them a millimeter of trust, and they took it and ran across the country with my car. So don't blame me for this. So now I'm the victim. So now Turo's against me, and the police are against me. Also at this point, the things that are going through my head are I'm deleting Turo, I'm deleting YouTube, and I'm gonna go be an accountant and just disappear in the country. So the reason the cop was at my house is because the renter or whoever was driving the car got pulled over. She couldn't give me the reason as to why they got pulled over, but they were pulled over and they had no identification. They had no ID on them. And then I get a call the next day from the renter saying, hey, do you still have our ID? I said, what? How would I possibly have your ID? She said, well, we thought we'd give it to you. I said, no, I don't have your ID. So they really didn't have their ID. I don't know how that happened. Also, the story gets better, hang in there. And also, this lady cop was not as Lil Wayne described. I said, lady, what's your number? She said 911. Emergency only, head doctor perform surgery only. Now, despite the cops showing up at my house, I actually felt better that the car was not stolen. A couple days go by, I'm out on the golf course. Also, subscribe to Gjeebs Golf if you haven't already. I'm creating golf content on a secondary channel. So I'm out on the golf course, I get a call or a text from the renter. They said, hey, call me when you get a chance. I'm like, oh God. So we go back and forth, missing each other's calls. Finally, I get a hold of her and she goes, hey, car's low on oil, so we got an oil change. I tried to call you to get it approved. She goes, we ain't asking for no money. And I said, what? So apparently they drove so many miles that it was up due for its next oil change. Now, if you come here, it looks like there's actually some oil spilled around that area. So it looks like they maybe checked it or something like that. But oil changes on Porsche Macans are very expensive. If you go to the dealership, it's $450. So she's told me we changed the oil on the car. I almost didn't have words, and that's rare for me to not have words because I use my mouth for a living. And she said, yeah, we changed the oil for you. I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't know why you did that. It didn't need, maybe it needs an oil change, but it wasn't low on oil. So they said they changed the oil on the rental car. So now I think the car has had an oil change, and again, I'm just relieved, but I'm also blown away by why someone would change the oil on a car. Anyways, it comes now to pickup day. Another thing happens, they delay the pickup time from 7 to 9. And also on this final day, someone booked the car for today when I'm shooting this video, and I got the car back. So let's take a look at what has been done to the car now that I rented it out. So first thing, I get in the car, and after talking to the dude at the airport, he wanted me to go meet him at a gas station to fill up with gas. I said, I'm at the airport, I got a ride here, I'm here, please come to the airport. Shows up 35 minutes after 9, after they delayed it 2 hours. I look around the car, the exterior looks fine. I open the trunk, let's go back to the trunk. I go, oh, you had dogs in the car. He goes, nah, that was a coat. I go, oh, it was a coat. So you think I'm dumb, right? So you think I'm dumb. So that's the one thing that I noticed at the airport. I'm like, hey, just look, whatever. Like, he's just rambling on about nonsense, whatever. Also, the person that booked the car was never there. So that person just has some fake account that they've been able to get approved. They booked the car and were able to get those guys into it somehow. So then I get in the car, and there's about 1,000 of these little trees, and then these air fresheners are in every single vent. Also, I get home today, and I put it out in the sunlight. My license plate frame is bent. I bought this for 50 bucks from Porsche. Like, what? So that's bent. Little update here, Andrew and I are cleaning the car out. Bullet. Now, I don't know. The only gun I've ever shot is the Needler in Halo, so I don't know what this goes to. But yeah, this is good. This is the type of people we were dealing with. Also, The car has been heavily smoked in, heavily. Cigarettes. He was like, I have my medical card. I'm like, dude, I don't care I don't care if you smoke. I don't care what you do. Just don't do it in my car. So he smoked. There's ash all over the car. There's a cut in the leather seat. So I had to do a smoking penalty fee. Now, when you charge someone the smoking penalty fee, it's $250. And I wrote like, hey, I'm not trying to get the person kicked off the app, but they smoked in my car. Because I have to now go get this professionally. I don't know how to, get rid of that smell. I got to research that still. When you do that though, it apparently kicks them off the app and it fines them $250. They smoked in the car, they put pets in the car, there's a cut in the leather in the front seat. The oil does need change, so I am gonna do that. And when I talked to the guy at the airport, I was like, so you guys changed the oil, do you have the receipts for that? He goes, no, we didn't change the oil. So one person's telling me they changed the oil and they saved the receipts for me. The other person says, we didn't change the oil. And it's not been reset, so it hasn't been changed. It was just a total nightmare of a situation. And now I had to cancel the guy's trip for today. I told him last night, I'm gonna have to cancel your trip. Someone smoked in the car, it needs maintenance. It's a mess. So that guy got situated, and I also incurred a penalty on Turo because when you cancel a rental, that goes against the host. So it's just been a bad situation. Now the good thing here is, again, I bought this car so I could rent it on Turo. Now I still really like it. I like to keep it clean and nice and like to let other people enjoy and experience the Macan. This has been really bad. Now if this was a car like my Model Y or like when I had an M2, if that was something I rent out, that would be a nightmare. So my recommendations are, and things I've learned is, do not buy a car that you can't afford and you're trying to make the payments through Turo. It'll be a nightmare for you. You'll just be a mess the whole time they're being rented out. If you want to get a car to make money on, get it something that you're not really attached to and that you can be profitable on. And that's what I've done with this. I've made over $2,000 and I've only had it posted. I've had it posted technically for 3 months, but I haven't been here most of that time. So I haven't had it posted for full months, and it's rented out every single day in November. Unfortunately, I blocked off the rest of November because it needs things done, and then I'll repost it again. It's just kind of a mess right now. So, lessons learned. Absolutely do not give the car unless you see the actual person who rented the car there physically. If they're not there, take the keys, drive home. The other thing is just buy a car that you're not totally attached to and you just want to make money from. And then these situations become less of a problem. Because yeah, it stinks, but again, that's what I went into this car knowing I was going to do with it. So let me know what questions you guys have in the comments below. And also if you like this video, you're gonna love this video right here. It's an absolute banger.